and the shard. I think Nisha there caught a glimpse of the Kunkka.
Double BKB, 9-second BKBs on their heroes. Doom just picked up a Blink Dagger, so he can be the one initiating a fight with the War Stomp. Doom is available. Rezo is massive. On top of the network, level 15.
A hand of mine is kicking in big time. Smoking all the way across from their triangle to the enemy one. X mark, but in jumps Rezo, gets the Doom in onto the BKB Kunkka. They're focusing Warlock, so no Rock. And full control of this enemy triangle now for Team Tsecret as they take the camps away from them. And of course, maneuver themselves into position to take the tier 1 mid.
Team Spirit, they're off to a really good start, especially on Ursa, but yeah, I guess they're just waiting for Yatoro to buy his BKB, and then he's going to be able to join a fight. Should use this 2-minute window that they have, because there's no Doom, there is no Zeus ulti for a minute and a half, and you can see Mitoshka pinging out Roche.
Yeah, everything has been so clean from Tsecret, from the lane manipulation bottom, the Earthshaker making sure Rezo has a good time for his Hand of Midas timing. Top lane, like you were saying, giving Chrysalis a couple of kills here and there to make sure that his lack of CSing wasn't really having an effect on his game as an overall issue. And Chen, Puppey, has just been moving now from objective to objective, opening the map for Team Tsecret. I honestly don't. They've not made a single mistake. It's been flawless from Tsecret. It's not been flashy by any means.
No, it's just like methodical, but no real mistakes being made from Tsecret.
Yeah, Team Spirit. There's something they've got to do to. You know, this rhythm of Tsecret. They are marching to the tune of. You know, their drummer is banging that rhythm. Team Spirit have got to try and make sure that they get into a rhythm of their own. Because so far, like you say, no supernova. We've not seen any real big fatal bonds or golems dropped. And around Roshan Pit, that could give them the zone they want to fight in.
Already inside, Vision placed on high ground, sees rotations from Team Spirit, even though their ward just expired on top, so they're not going to see Team Tsecret, the northern one.
Yeah, and another smoke. 5 heroes strong. Tsecret looks like they're going to wrap around with the offlane duo.
Done, so that's going to be pretty big. BKB, oh!
Oh! What's it?
Toronto Tokyo just popped the BKB. I guess he was afraid of the Shaker.
He's straight in! He's annihilated everybody! Out of thin air, Tsecret destroy Team Spirit, chasing Toronto Tokyo. Oh, goodness gracious me!
And they're gonna scout out Ursa, but Yatoro got what he came for. He got that Aegis, he got that Shard, but at what cost? They lost all 4 heroes. I think Toronto Tokyo was afraid of Fisher, so he would not be able to pick things up, so pop the BKB just in case.
I tried to defend that Roshan so strongly, but I didn't expect that long wraparound. Monkey, Doom, and the Earthshaker going through the triangle from the mid lane on the Radiant side. And a surprise jump in from Zayas with that Earthshaker. Always going to catch you off guard the first time he does that. Team Spirit do still have the Aegis on the Ursa though, but BKB's on cooldown. Could be a problem for them if they make their way into their own jungle. Tsecret are ready and waiting for them. Toronto, Tokyo, and Collapse. They've come into mid as a pair. Nisha, he's there to push out that mid wave, keep it cleared out. He gets X-Mark.
Really not afraid.
He just goes aggressive. Straight onto Kunkka. Nimbus out. Resolution with the Infernal Blade. They find him. Toronto Tokyo down. While Chrysalis just Wukongs and BKBs. Zoning away the rest of them. And now Collapse. Yeah, doomed up and dead. Team Spirit. They just don't have what it takes to match up against the caliber of Team Tsecret here at this tournament.
Could we check the hero damage? Okay, we're gonna first see this this fight because he popped the BKB, and yeah, there's still illusion. They had this Centaur Conqueror, the little one, inside providing vision, so they saw all of them.
Well, Yatoro wants in now, but I think with that Fisher, he's changed his mind. He wants out. Get me away from them. 24,000 damage. But hang on, what's 6 plus 4 plus 6 plus 4 plus 6?
Yeah, hero damage done. Ursa on the lowest and 4.7k. Most of that damage came from the laning stage.
I mean, 5 times 6 is 30,000, right? So I think Nisha's like 6k under. Like he's 1 hero under amassing the total damage that Team Spirit has done as a squad. Toronto, Tokyo. X-Mark's back after clearing bot wave. I don't know, trying to make the best out of a bad situation right now is Yatoro. He makes the jump on Crystallis, burns all his mana, but they've got Solar Guardian to come back in on top of him. The Fisher look decent, the Hand of God in the heel, the Golem in, but they still can't kill the Monkey King. Now with the Thunder God's Wrath and the Supernova, finally, the Wicked Six streak ended. And Team Spirit chasing towards Zayats for the bonus kill.
This time around, no Hurricane. There is no Wild Wing Ripper available for Chen to get him out of the trouble. He still had the BKB, he had Wukong's command, but Ursa, one of the better heroes, because like the damage from the Fury Swipes does stack up, and then like even if you get the Wukong's command, even if you get a BKB, you're still gonna die to overwhelming damage from Ursa.
Yeah, you see Chen there, picking up a full staff, so now he's going to have that additional, additional maneuverability to get Crystallis out of situations that we just saw. Next team fight is still going to be very difficult for Spirit, especially now all their cooldowns are not available, as we see there. Golem, Egg, Solar Guardian, not available for at least a minute. So a nice opportunity for Tsecret to go yet again for one of their classic smoke ganks.
And Puppey keeps using the shovel, 5 healing salves on him. I gotta use it, Gary. It's a groundbreaking item when it was added to Dota 2.
Oh, I was tempted earlier, but you know, I don't steal jokes.
It's fine. You could have said it. Toronto, Tokyo getting closer to his AC, so that's gonna be some protection against the Monkey King and just tanking up the whole team.
Thunder God's Wrath damage for Nisha. Zayats up on the high ground. Got his little Fisher shard there so he can get the free passing. He's got Spider Leg as well. He's all over the place. Terrain means nothing to this man. Smoke up from Spirit. Conquer the one that's not smoked. Could be the bait. Could be the one to show out on the map. But this is around the timing now that Aegis does expire. There's no vision here for Tsecret. They don't know where Spirit are, but they're smoked themselves. First point of contact could be Yatoro. Resolution, smoke breaks. High ground ward for Spirit, and they disengage. Thunder God's Wrath is there to give the vision with the Nimbus and the jump in from the Doom with the Torrent. Oh, we're trying to hold him back, and Miposhka's blown up.
Team Tsecret knew exactly like what can happen. Their smoke broke. This is going to get devorted by Nisha. He uses Thunder God's Wrath just to be able to cancel the potential Blink Daggers and also to scout things out. They have very good chase potential. Monkey King, Doom with the Blink Dagger, now with the Shiva's Guard to provide even more vision.
And Earthshaker exceptional at that as well with the Fisher. And this map is starting to feel smaller and smaller for Spirit. They're getting hemmed back towards their base. Top lane, one of the safest places for Collapse to be right now, just pushes out one additional wave. And knowing he does have that tier 1 for people to TP to, maybe try and react if Tsecret were to make a move. But right now, the only platform that Spirit can launch themselves from is their own triangle. Their entire bottom jungle being swarmed by Tsecret heroes. Puppey stealing all the creeps from them. Toronto, Tokyo, not even comfortable farming this large camp near his mid-tier 2. Knowing that the possibility of Tsecret being nearby is very high.
He senses something bad is cooking potentially for him. Very nice read. Nisha on the top lane, Boots of Travel, Arcane Rune ready to join the fight.
Arcade Rune?
Yeah, he also has Quickening Charm on top of that.
Oh, he does.
A bit blessed by Gaben.
Yeah. Super good on the Zeus. Nice 11k lead though. It's been held steady. The past couple of minutes, no real acceleration coming out of Team Tsecret, but now they are just waiting out that Aegis. Well, they have already waited out the Aegis. Looking for that chance to get in towards the squishier supports. You're seeing Resolution just jump straight the Warlock, get on the Phoenix, make sure that the big hefty teamfight ultis aren't there from Team Spirit.
On Spirit, they got a couple of big items, AC that we mentioned, and also Basher on Ursa. And this is gonna be the big one. Collapse, trying to farm Nullifier.
Ooh.
So he can be the one dealing with the Force Staffs, dealing with the Yule Scepter on Zeus.
Zayat trying to deward. Yatro's going to end range, get away from the Nimbus. Poppy gets rid of the vision now, though, but 40 seconds without your Earthshaker. Potential here for Spirit again to smoke, move out across the map and get a core kill. Now, Nisha.
Double damage just spawned.
Oh, up atop, yeah, you're
Toronto.
right.
Will pick it up with the X mark.
He'll have it. I mean, Nisha hasn't died this game yet, right? He's 5-0-12. Monkey King 8-1-7 has only fallen once. Team Spirit really need to get some of these big ticket kills. With the smoke, they're aiming towards Resolution. He's straight up BKB Shivers Guard, Dooms onto Yatoro, the Nimbus, and the Wukongs. They're throwing everything in with a Blink War Stomp. Resolution chain stuns the Ursa, and the zap from the heavens comes down from Nisha.
A lot of team fight circles from Team Spirit. Not sure what the plan there was. Doesn't pop a BKB. That's not gonna stop him from using the Doom. I guess he was relying on a bash. Either bash or that Kunkka's gonna catch him with the X mark, but then it's not an instant lockdown. So Rezo, after seeing Ursa, pops the Shiva's Guard, gets the vision of Ursa, gets the BKB, and Roshan gonna respawn in 15. There is no buyback on Ursa, so this gives 30-second window for Team Tsecret to go in and kill it.
Yeah, and no golem dropped as well, right? We kind of we've seen when Y plays Warlock, he's not afraid to just drop the rock onto a support Bane or something. If you think a fight is going to develop and break out, you get a kill, transfer it into maybe another kill, a tower, a push, some objective. And Poshka being very timid with his usage of the chaotic offering. And now, third Roshan. It looks like Tsecret want to be able to steal this one away from the Ursa lineup. He's dead still for 10 seconds. So into the pit they go. Aghanim Scepter there, available as well, going to be dropped by the Roche. Who does that go to?
You give it to Monkey, you definitely give that one to Monkey King. He's out of slots, so someone else will need to pick it up. He picked up Aegis first. No, Aghanim Scepter, and then he picks up the Aegis. This Monkey King is humongous right now. The extra gold that he got from it kind of skyrocketed his net worth.
Straight to the top of the board, 23,000. Incredible. He's still holding on to a lot of little items as well. Orb Corrosion, Wraithband, Magic Wand.
Time to sell those.
Time to go sell those and finish off a Butterfly. So that Ursa, that Kunkka, I mean, Dawnbreaker, all right-clicking, physical damage-dealing heroes will struggle now to contend with the Monkey King.
Look at this graph. Big stongs.
Whew. Up we go, to the moon. A very slow and steady game from Team Tsecret. 23k net worth lead amassed by them, though.
I don't remember the last time Team Spirit got a kill.
It's been rough, and it's only going to get rougher. Yatoro obliterated by Tsecret. Okay, Zayat's dead.
Okay, now I remember. They got him on that cliff after they dewarded, but still, very good trade for Team Tsecret. Instant lockdown into burst damage from Zeus, Nimby, E-Blade, and ulti.
I mean, it's Zayat's Earthshaker, reminiscent of his techies, right? You jump in, blow someone up. If you die, it doesn't matter. You're a support. You're killing core heroes almost single-handedly. Resolution diving tier 3s at this point, gets nullified, fatally bonded up, but he's got BKB.
Has a refresher, has a cheese in the backpack as well, so can potentially refresh his BKB after using Doom if needed. And they're hunting.
Yeah,
that's the first Doom.
They've caught him out. Toronto, Tokyo, he got his BKB off in time before it.
Backup.
But there's no one
coming.
There's no one coming to save the Kunkka, right? Nimbus and the E-Blade, more than enough magic nuke damage to bring him down. Still holding this Aegis on Monkey King for 3 more minutes, so plenty of time here for Tsecret to clear out tier 2 top, break up high ground, really push the lanes out and force Team Spirit to sit in their base and twiddle their thumbs.
Nisha is all over the place with his Zeus. He has Octarine Core, Quickening Charm. We're talking about TP being 30 seconds on cooldown. He even wants to get Boots of Travel too, so lower the cooldown even more. Level 25, gets Arc Lightning damage, clears the wave with just 2 lightnings.
That is a ton of damage with that And that E-Blade buff as well.
0 deaths on him. Like this guy has been playing some really amazing Dota in the past couple of years, and I think he reached his peak. I don't think you can play better than this.
Flawless perfection. And nothing to say on a similar level as well, especially on the Zeus, right? We've seen several games from him where he's been unkilled. So it might be that, you know, the good old Ice Frog needs to go back and look at this heavenly jump. The ability to disengage, jump away from your opponents as the Zeus, incredibly strong and being utilized immaculately by these players.
It's time for tier 4 neutral items. Let's see if there's going to be Spell Prism or Timeless Relic drop for Zeus. Could be both, and then he gets to choose.
Get the choice between the two big ones. Oh, look. Oh, they see him. Yatoro, Blink Echo, straight in onto Toronto Tokyo, sorry, as they Nimbus and kill him, and Collapse has come in. He tried to save him with a Solar Guardian, but Crystallis is here. Team Spirit are crumbling in game 1. This seems like an insurmountable lead. Team Tsecret are not going to be giving an inch to Team Spirit right now. High ground possibilities for them.
Still a full minute left. Aghanim Scepter, this is going to be very good for sieging.
Statues onto that high ground to stop anyone from jumping in towards him. Hit away at the tower with them. There's a glyph on the 10 HP tier 3. 30 seconds no Kunkka, 40 without the Dawnbreaker. And like you said, still 45 seconds with that Aegis on Crystallis, meaning there's a free lane of barracks for them.
They can't do anything about it. They have to let it go. Still, 40 seconds. Look at the way they're sieging. Nimbus on top of Crystallis.
Yeah.
He's doing all the work. Everyone else is spread out. They even smoke.
It's like goading Ursa to come in. Like, yeah, okay, there's 3 statues, there's a Nimbus. If you want to jump out Monkey King, you're going to have to break through this terracotta army of the Monkey King. Second lane of barracks for Tsecret. Cancels out the Sunray.
Gets pushed out by a 4-staff.
Get what they came for and immediately retreat. DD Rune has spawned bottom, so maybe we'll see Tsecret back up, grab that, and position themselves in this Radiant Triangle to jump again. Because Echo Slam is ready in 10 seconds. Every time it's off cooldown, it's eyes on Zayats and where he's jumping.
Nisha using 2 items, Ninja Gear, to be able to position themselves better. They are not able to see him, so he wants to end this game with 0 deaths.
He just finishes off his refresher or casual. Yeah, chill.
No biggie.
It's been a long time since I've seen a game like this, though, of course. We've had some one-sided games, but 37k lead. And you look at the net worth board with 30k Monkey King, 27 Zeus, and the Doom, who usually is the top of the net worth hero, is in 3rd place. That's how overfarmed the Monkey and the Zeus are.
Looking for the courier. Mira wants to finish off his Shiva's Guard. We'll get it. Level 18 plus a Shiva's Guard. Like, Monkey does have a ton of attack speed, so he needs to be the one killing the egg, or they need to disengage. Holding on to high ground. Zayats with spider legs positioning himself, and Rezo in the front lines having that arcane blink, so Doom gets out quicker.
There was no trusty shovel drop for Team Spirit, was there? So they can't dig themselves out of this hole right now. They are stuck in their base with no escape. Thunder God's Wrath, the scout, maybe expecting a smoke from Spirit. That's what we've been expecting, some kind of last-ditch effort. We have seen Spirit out-execute their opponents time and time again in previous games and series. And they've got the opportunity to do it with Abyssal Blade on Ursa, with these big teamfight ultis, of course, the combos out of Fatal Bonds, Supernova, and the Golem. But it's going to take an absolute miracle for them to get through Team Tsecret in their entirety.
I'm looking the way that they take this fight. I'm trying to find the solution, but the only thing I see is this massive resolution on the other side. Having double Doom, double BKB, double Shivas. He's level 25, so extra Infernal Blade damage. Surprisingly, he doesn't have a shard at this point.
Yeah. Genuinely, Yatoro straight up, blown up. He's gone for 80. Warlock. He's out of that. Healing up the creep wave.
And where could he possibly be?
He's hiding behind the
he tried. Next, Roshan may respawn in 30 seconds, but it's time to try and close out this game. Crystalis with the double damage. Like, they pop one Doom. He didn't even use Refresher. He knows that, like,
Wow.
I'll just wait it out.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, though, right? Spirit, they need to cast their spells. You know, it has to be a symphony of skills. Like, literally, they have got to really outplay, out of their minds. But if you're getting doomed on one of these combo heroes, the Warlock or the Phoenix, whoever it may be, you lose that synchronization and synergy. Dawnbreaker jumps by the Rezo Doom. The Sunray trying to heal Toronto Tokyo back up, but he's been burnt alive inside his own tree line. He does have buyback, but GG is called. They tap out, realizing there is no escape from Team Secret's aggression. Game 1, 42 minutes. 8-27 is the scoreline.
Oh, what a performance.
Incredible.
From Team Secret in game number 1. Didn't look close at all. It looked close for like first 10 minutes. When we got out of the laning stage, Ursa was pretty massive. I wanted to see a bit more aggression, a bit more moves coming out from Team Spirit, but it felt like they stopped playing Dota. They gave Team Secret all the heroes, like these are signature heroes. We're talking about Zayas, Earthshaker, Chen for Puppey, Nisha on the Zeus, Crystalis, Monkey King, and like, I don't think you could ask for a better lineup.
Yeah, and for the players to play it as well. But you know, you know, from our perspective and maybe from the viewer's perspective, it might look weird. Like, why are Team Spirit being so passive? Why are they waiting and delaying and things like this? But you know, there might be a call from the captain saying, "Hey, if we wait for them to come to us, that's where we stand our greatest chance at team fighting, right? Wait for them to come to high ground. That's when we wombo combo them." But it's the patience from Secret.
Exactly. And those Wild Wing Rippers, definitely, I said it, MVP for me. Puppey Chen always there. Those first couple of rotations that Team Spirit tried to make, he was always there to bail people out of the trouble.
Absolutely was. As we see the few highlights coming in. Rounding up game 1. And Team Spirit got a lot left to do. Back to the drawing board for them. So I think we can head it back to Arvo and the panel. They'll take a second to get into their stations. Now, what do you reckon for game 2? Is there something Team Spirit need to think about?
Like, they had a lot of team fight, but it never came to them actually going for these team fights. It felt like we never saw 5 heroes of Team Spirit going in, and because like especially early on, we're talking about Phoenix and also Warlock being fight ready. They got those early levels, and yeah, we need to see what answer they have for Team Secret, because this was flawless. Yeah, over to Arvo and the panel to break it down.
Thank you, Gareth. We're here watching the highlights by Ramco, and you know, what a performance by Secret. Now, there were some doubts whether they could perform it, with how to beat these team fights, but it worked out in it, Seb.
Yeah, very, very strong performance by Secret. I think, I mean, I think they had a really solid draft and stuff, but I really want to highlight the mental advantage they seem to have. I can tell they're feeling good, right? They feel super confident. They go for the moves. They're reckless. Even when they were playing a little bit behind in the first, sequences of the game, I think they just felt more comfortable. And I think right now, Spirit, they kind of have to shape up. I'm not really feeling how they're playing yet. I think they're playing a little bit scared, a little bit conservative, maybe too safe. To my taste, I just feel like Secret, they have an advantage, a mental advantage, and I'd like Spirit to, yeah, shake it up.
Something we can see, sorry, in this scoreboard brought to you by STC, shaking it up by Earthshaker, and I like that one. What are some things you would like to see from the gameplay here, Awi, from Team Spirit?
Team Spirit, for me, they played really different than what I thought they would play this game. I thought they were just going to have Toronto, Tokyo get a lot of stacks. Thought the lanes were looking good. You would have this really farm Kunkka, and every time you press X on someone, they would die. This game, I didn't see a single X plus Bolt plus any Golem or Phoenix Egg. I think maybe the players aren't too comfortable on these heroes. Like Miposhka, I don't see him play Warlock that much, to be honest. And I don't think Mira had the best Phoenix performance either. I'd like to see them play a bit more comfort heroes.
Okay. Do you feel like their style was also not the comfort style, Awi?
It's not like he has a free lane. Zeus also has a free lane, but he was really farmed, and I just felt like he didn't get to utilize his game.
Yeah, tell me about that Kunkka performance, man.
Yeah, he played very passively. I think they had really good lanes on Team Spirit, so I was kind of surprised that they didn't find like way more aggressive moves on to enter the enemy jungle, to take control over like the outpost, for example. I can agree with Seb on this part. I think Team Secret was. It looked like they were way stronger mentally. Like they weren't pressuring. It didn't feel like they were pressured at all. They weren't panicking. while it felt like Team Spirit were really the ones that went out of the way to make moves that didn't really look that good.
Yeah, and even when I feel like even when Secrets were in a rougher position, they felt more comfortable than when Spirits were in the dominant position, which is kind of awkward, you know. Like there were moments where Spirits, they had all their spells ready, they had great lanes, as you guys mentioned, and still it kind of felt like something was carrying them, and I'm not sure what it was.
Does this go back to what you were talking about, the idea of the Team Spirit had a more quote-unquote defensive playstyle this whole tournament, or greedier playstyle perhaps, and Secret is getting to abuse that?
At this point, I don't think it's playstyle. I mean, maybe it is, but I think I don't think it's a playstyle thing. I think they need to change that if they're gonna have any hope into doing better in game 2.
Okay. Ali, could we be seeing perhaps, you talk about finding that more comfort, right? Could we be seeing them going back to the other drafts they were playing this tournament, or do you think once again, like Sebits, need to change these specific things?
I think the biggest thing for me is I'd like to see them put Collapse on the hero where after he wins a lane, he can exert more map pressure. I feel like Dawnbreaker is sort of a hero where you're like sitting by yourself, push out lanes because you have some global threat. I think a lot of Team Spirit's gameplay wants to revolve around like Collapse on some hero where when he's farming the enemy jungle, they join up with like one Mirror or one Maposhka and he can kill someone. In this game, like Dawnbreaker couldn't kill anyone alone, Toronto Tokyo couldn't really pressure anyone alone, and it ended up with them really never joining the cores and the supports.
Nine, for you, how were you feeling in general, the pressure that T-Spro was able to exert on the map? Do you feel like it's also insufficient?
Yeah, definitely. I would like to see for game 2 that they pick, this game they had like the Phoenix Warlock subs.
Sure.
And they're both very, like, they're backline heroes that don't go in, they don't make any plays by themselves. I would like to see that one of them is like a playmaker maybe, like to switch it up I think after this game.
Okay. To draw a comparison here to the other team has been doing the Phoenix Warlock very often. It's LGD, a little bit RNG as well. Where do the differences lie between how they would execute the combo?
I mean, I don't know if they've done it like together. I think the point is that if having one is fine, having two is maybe overkill. Okay. And you know, obviously Collapse is really comfortable on any hero. I think like, you know, he's one of the best players out there, and maybe I never really saw a situation for him to click his ulti, you know, and kind of feel the Dawnbreaker his impact. The moves that I can think of were Rezo moves, killing Ursa with Doom, which when you think about how the laning phase went, should probably be the opposite, right? Like as AI mentioned, like, you know, X into Rock into Egg. We haven't really seen these plays from Team Spirit the entire game, and they had good tools to do so. Given their laning phase, maybe it's just because it was not the right heroes, and had they been on a Snapfire, Clockwork, the heroes that we used to see from them, maybe it would have felt more natural.
Okay. Someone who was making some pretty good moves, especially, you know, as we recovered into the mid game, you commented on that Conka kill, for example, like Crystallis as well. Do you feel like they could also try to stop his hero pool? Like, he has 3 signature heroes he's known for, and you gave him one of his biggest comforts, his Monkey King.
I think you have to play for something, right?
Okay.
Like, it's just how Dota goes. I think for me, more than stopping Crystallis hero pool, I think they need to get rid of the Zeus. Like, okay. Secret they pick Zeus every game of the tournament, they win every game of the tournament, and then they get Zeus again. I think they tried their idea for Zeus. You know, you have a lot of heals, you have some global to counteract the Zeus ulti with the Warlock and the Dawnbreaker. It didn't work. You can just reset, go like, guys, we tried a strat, it didn't work, let's move on. Ban the Zeus, ban the Zeus.
And with that, we're going to go to a break. Remember, ban the Zeus, that's the name for the second game. Will they do it? We're going to have to find out as we take a small break and wait for game 2 between Team Spirit and Team Tsecret to begin. See you soon.
عايز تترجم راب؟ تعالى لي. ملوك الصين دي انا ملخصها في سطور، بس مين يقرا؟ فاهم؟ كلام الشارع ده انا هرش كل المجال حبايبي بروز.
وانا كاكازوكو مصدع ايه الكي نظره لو على الحلاوه عندي كاستر والاسم
عفرت يا عفرت، هتفضل معفرتها ولا ايه يا برو؟
انت مين يا هو ازاي ده دخل هنا يا جدعان؟
نكسر الدنيا الاول وبعدين نتكلم، نعيد من الاول.
لا 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 مش مسجل.
اخواتي عشان فاهمين السين، سبوتيفاي عمل لك بلاي ليست الاقوى راب مصري، اسمع ملوك السين ببلاش.
Welcome back. We're here to witness Game 2 between Team Spirit and Team Tsecret. We have a new panel here because we like to change things up. And Danog, what we're saying by putting you on this panel, as opposed to Aoi and Nine, is that you're equivalent to 2 pro players. How does that feel to you?
Disingenuine, not true. I mean, they're such great Dota minds, right? And it's great that we get a chance to be able to pick their brain a little bit, but no, absolutely. I'll do my best to be able to be the best replacement I can be.
Seb, you're the survivor. How does it feel?
Feels good, feels good. I mean, I'm looking for, you know, I'm kind of hyped about getting like a fresh outlook on the game that just happened. So what did you think about it?
I think it was just, honestly, Team Tsecret outskilling Team Spirit. Like, they just crushed a lot of the lanes. I think the drafting was really good. Zayats, what a great reveal as well of that Blink Dagger to completely bait out a multiple BKBs and then go in with that huge Echo Slam. Even Puppey, like, again, another game where he only died the one time. It's kind of nuts.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's even hard to really get a feel for the passive impact of Puppey. I say passive because these auras, I think they really add up. You know, you have like the extra 10%, you know, movement speed on everybody, the armor, the frost armor. I really think it does a lot in these team fights. Like, everybody literally has, you know, magic resistance buff, movement speed amplification buff, armor buff, and it really adds up. With the mech, with the Hand of God, I really think that this Chen deserves to get more respect.
Yeah, and even just the Wild Wing Ripper as well, like the free force
that
stuff.
was crazy.
That saved Nisha. Like, Nisha didn't die a single time. He would have, if not for Puppey on his chest.
There was a Roche fight also where he saved the Shaker. I mean, so many clutch plays, and I wonder if Puppey talks about it. It's like, I got that for you, so bait it, or if he just happens to quietly always have the right creep in the right position. I mean, it's really impressive, the Chen. When I play Chen, it doesn't impact the game as much, so you gotta respect that.
Do you think he's just saying, like, go in, I got you?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what you were saying, right? Some teams like to play around their supports more than others, right? In the case of Spirit, their sacrifices, their smoke blockers, right? That is not the case of Tsecret, right? Puppey does dictate a lot of the early game, and it's similar to how LGD plays with Y, actually, or Yi, as they like to be called, but in a different way, because the Chen has a much different impact than the Warlock.
No, definitely, and I think, I mean, I wouldn't say that Spirit had a worse draft. I think they had a good idea, honestly, going into the game. I think they also executed the lanes pretty well. So I think they really have tools to challenge Tsecret, even though they kind of got stomped in that game 1. I just really feel like they need to feel themselves better somehow. I feel like Tsecret right now, they're playing really well. They know that they're playing really well, and they're kind of acting like it. And of course, it's going to be even harder when you're playing now kind of back against the wall when you're Spirit. You know, you can't really allow yourself to lose a game anymore. You're just going to get knocked out. This is single elim, and it's a really big stake game. But they're the TI champions after all, and they're going to, you know, I want to have high standards for them. And
of course,
high standard is you come back into this game too. I don't know what it is, you know, a silent, their coach, speech, just themselves kind of reflecting on what's going on and what they could do better. They need to come back stronger mentally. They need to go for these plays, man. They were playing way too passive that game.
I wonder if how much of it even can come down to like a single ban, right? Because they opened the draft with the Dawnbreaker and the Warlock, and then next 3 bans, Clockwork, great ban against both of those heroes, just be able to counter out, get it onto the backlines. Death Prophet provides a lot of tempo. Snapfire not so much, right? And maybe that's the area that you need to ban out the Puppey Chen, just because that's what's going to be giving you all of that early game impact that doesn't let these real team fight heroes get the items and the levels that they need to truly come online and be the best heroes that they can be.
Yeah, I think I would like to see respect on the Puppey Chen. Maybe a ban, maybe a way to abuse it, but definitely I would move the Chen and the Zeus to a higher priority. I obviously Dawnbreaker is then gonna be like, if I have to be honest, I feel like this Timber Saw is a wasted ban. I would change that completely. Obviously you gotta give respect to Timber, but I don't feel like Tsecret. I don't feel like the Tsecret's Timber is as good as the Dawns or the Chens and the Zeuses, and you're gonna have to play against something, obviously, so you're probably gonna have to play against either Zeus or Dawnbreaker or Chen, but I would like to see Spirit play against the Dawn or pick it themselves or try to counter it. I'm sure they have great ideas, good ideas against it, as they've shown already. But yeah, Zeus and Chen, move them up in the priority list.
Agree. The Zeus was, well, the whole panel was talking about last time. Danog, favorite of Tsecret and a favorite of the tournament. You were saying that you were surprised it was only 2nd most picked hero. You thought it had to be picked more.
Yeah, it's just so versatile with how you're able to play it. It's just got so much survivability now, is that mid lane. I mean, it was a great game for him to go for the Yule Scepter, and very wise that they looked to get rid of it. So, will Team Tsecret go down the route of the Dawnbreaker, which, Seb, you were a little bit confused. They banned out the Wyvern last time, but didn't pick up the Dawn for themselves. Maybe this is the chance to be able to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll admit it. I do not understand exactly the Wyvern. Not that I don't believe in it. I just don't quite grasp what teams are looking at. You know, obviously I'm not in the rooms when they talk about the draft, and there's a lot of things I can kind of, you know, guess. But the Wyvern, I did not get it yet. So to me, it's still a little bit of a question mark. Maybe we'll understand later down the road of the tournament. They go for the Dawn first pick. I feel like it's gonna be a Dawn Chen, and I feel like Team Spirit, I don't know that they're managed. Okay,
Immediate.
wait a second. You know, I think this is one of the lanes that could possibly punish a Chen really hard. A Viper lane that just, you know, chain feeds on him. So maybe they are trying to bait the Chen pick, and you know, if it works, Viper and Tiny, they do not counter what Chen does in the game. I think they can abuse him in the lane, and then obviously, you know, if they kill the Chen 5 times, then now it's going to be a different game. If that doesn't work, might look rough.
Yeah, it's just amping up so much of what Dawn's able to do. We see a lot of Chens just go early on into even the Divine Favor just for that little bit of extra armor, that brawling capability. Obviously, you can change it around a little bit. The Holy Persuasion, the Penitence, both very effective. But yeah, I'm completely agreeing on that with you, Seb. It's just, it feels like you need to dominate the super early game to be able to have a chance.
Yeah, I wish they did not ban this Razor. I feel like, you know, the Chen is so much more terrifying. The Dawnbreaker is so much more terrifying than just a casual Razor. You see what Razor's about to do on...
Yeah.
And I mean, LGD, they also kind of proved against... I don't remember which team it was that they beat the Razor, but they proved that, you know, this Razor is beatable. You know, there are heroes that you could pick. You know, they did the Ench Void first phase. I mean, Yotoro probably my favorite Void player in the entire world. He's super comfortable on it. One of the best out there. But anyways, you know, they're gonna have to play against what Tsecret really loves to do this tournament, which is this huge laning presence in the Chen, in the Dawnbreaker, into a very, very strong, not even mid game, honestly, it's a minute 10 kind of game where they're gonna start rotating. We see the timings on the mech from Puppy. It is scary, man. He gets the mech so early.
Do you think it's one of those times where if you've got second pick like Team Spirit had, that you just let 2 or 3 really broken heroes through because you're going to be able to take both of them yourself?
Yeah, it's definitely a way to approach it. And I mean, the second phase bans also is gonna help a lot in that regard, trying to nerf, you know, now they're banning the Bloodseeker. They're trying to get rid of the heroes that are gonna stop the Chen from feeding to the Viper and the Tiny, because it is really a super dangerous lane for Chen to run into. Think about Chen getting close to the Viper, Avalanche, he's just gonna die every time.
So you just want to like clear out the wave really quickly. Blood Right, very effective tool at being able to do that.
I think you want a carry that doesn't need the Chen to kind of play up to the you know, a Bloodseeker typically would go to the creep, get the last hit, kind of heal up, get a tango, the hedges from the Chen. He wouldn't need the Chen to kind of man up to the Viper and the Tiny, which he can't. Right. You know, Chen cannot. He's gonna be a dead weight for a while, so you need a self-sufficient carry. Typically, I'm gonna pick a really bad carry for that, but if you had to play, you know, a Chen and a Monkey King against that lane, they would get really dumpstered.
Sure. What are some options then? Because Monkey King's out, Bloodseeker's out, right? The Chrysalis pool. But the Phantom Lancer still his other hero, but what are the carries you see?
Maybe the Dawn on +1.
Okay.
We've seen them
He's
do
done that.
It could be. I think Dawn is one of the strongest, you know, position 1 heroes. What else could it be? Magic immune heroes?
Yeah, magic immune heroes, I mean, or it's a little awkward doing 2 ranged heroes, but something like a sniper isn't horrible. You know, you could just stay at range, you can use the shrapnel to be able to even just secure perhaps a few range creeps. The issue is, though, it's Team Spirit. We don't know if this is going to be a collapsed Viper. Of course, it can be. He's gone deathless multiple times when he's played it. The Mirror, Tiny coming through as well. But we have seen position 5 Maposhka Viper come through too. So if you go too early down that route, where you go into something that is only good against this specific Viper Tiny lane, Team Spirit can just switch it up and then you're caught off guard.
There's something quite interesting with the second phase bans, you know, because Tsecret, they're banning the Slaughter, so they're considering that the Viper could potentially be a position 5, and I think what triggers that is the Sky ban. I'm thinking, you know, why would Team Spirit ban a Skyrath? I think its team has, so there was a big trend with Viper 5 recently in scrims, pubs, officials, and I think one of the best counters that people found was the Sky, because he's able to outrun the Viper. He doesn't really get right-clicked by Viper and actually out-trades the Viper, right? Really? He uses concussive shot, few right-clicks, and as soon as that is done, he just backs off out of, you know, MS advantage. So this could be what's happening in the second phase. It's like, okay, they're looking at Viper 5, you know, maybe Slaughter coming up, we're gonna ban it.
So what are some of the other options that you're really seeing there? Things like Snapfire, Hoodwink, maybe down that sort of similar route where you can just out-trade, be able to use something like the Scurry to make the extra space away from it?
The way you want to deal with this Viper 5 is you want to have kill potential, because obviously if Viper gets to right click you, it is really obnoxious and it can kind of feel helpless. At the same time, Viper is a hero, it's free food. You know, it just dies. So think of a CK snap lane. The second Viper shows its face, it's just gonna die right away. So this is one way of dealing with this Viper 5. But yet again, I think this Viper is kind of meant to deal with the Chen. I mean, they must have expected the Chen to come, and to me, so far, unless they have a better reason to, you know, put it away from the offlane, I think we're looking at a collapse Viper.
Okay, interesting, because the Shaman also is another 4 that trades well with Viper, has a similar idea of Scarlet Mage, that he has overwhelming damage and kill potential, right? But we'll see what Spirit is thinking about.
Keki is always an option as well, maybe.
Yep.
It's a Zayat special.
There's another aspect to these two heroes, though. They also have instant silences disabled, something like that, so maybe they're thinking about Spirits or Pucks, right? Puck is still in the pool.
The Viper could have also been a block pick for the Timber, I'm thinking, because, you know, Tsecret, a lot of teams have banned Timber against them.
Yep.
They have first faced it a lot, and, you know, maybe they had a plan of, you know, Dawn into Timber first phase, and the second they saw the Viper, then they decided against it. There could be other reasons for it. I feel like, so far, no team have really showed their cards yet, so what's coming up is going to be super interesting.
Dazzle, okay.
So that might mean that it's going to be a Viper 3, a core Viper, and a Dazzle position. I mean, we haven't seen the Dazzle run anywhere else than position 5 so far, I think, in this tournament.
In Eastern Europe, they still play it as in pubs, and then some officials been run both in Division 2 and some of the weaker Division 1 teams.
On what role?
On the offlane role.
Okay.
They still have a preference. Sunlight as well, who plays it in native 2, has been running it as an offlaner as well. Now a native 1. So there's some options. It has been a trend, like Danox says in pubs.
Interesting.
The Hawk's been practicing it as well.
He has. He's been playing it a lot, but he's not in this game, so we'll see if he's able to make.
I mean, that means we don't see Dazzle Radiance, which is unfortunate for us.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, it's more laning presence, right? You look at the Viper, the Dazzle. I think Team Spirit, they're definitely giving the Dawns, and I mean, just Secret's playstyle so far, they always had a really strong laning phase. They did not the last game as much against Team Spirit, so definitely something Team Spirit does really well against Secret, and I think they're looking to, pull that off once again.
Okay. They've got a lot of options on Team Spirit. Like, this Tiny could be mid, you know, this Tiny could be 4. This Dazzle could be offlane, it could be a Viper 5, it could be a Viper 3, it could be a Dazzle 5. Like, there are lots of different avenues to go down, so I think Team Spirit are just going to be reactionary to whatever Team Spirit does.
I mean, the Jugger, obviously, it's a classic versus the Viper in the sense that if you're ever threatened by too many, you know, too many stacks on the Viper queue, then you just spin that off and kind of get back to a safer position. At the same time, I think it's a lane that you're just damage controlling the lane. You're not really pressuring the Viper ever.
Okay.
I think you're just, you know, Viper is just burning through your region, and it's not a good lane for Secret. It's a lane that's meant to kind of suffer.
I want to question on that point, because for example, a Lifestealer Viper matchup, if Lifestealer gets on top of the Viper with another support that has some damage, you actually do put some pressure on Viper. Can the Juggler be played that way, or does he lack that damage?
I think you kind of have to outplay them to get in that position. I think if the Viper Tiny is aware of what could happen, it's kind of too predictable. You have this one play of Jug running
at you.
Yeah, I think it's too easy for Viper to deal with it. She's gonna pre-click the Jugger, you know, couple stacks. He's gonna be slowed. Viper's gonna back off in time, and Jugger's gonna lose too much HP, and eventually the lane is gonna turn out to be a disaster. What do you think about the Shadow Demon pick, though?
I'm trying to think of it, man. Like, you can just
use pick ever. No pick in the DPC either.
Wow, okay.
Ever,
The DPC?
No pick in the DPC. The Shadow Demon, one of the few unpicked heroes in the DPC.
Really?
And always of the Storm as well. But it is a Zayat's old classic of his.
Okay. I mean, once you get to that Aghanim Scepter, of course, it's against the Bristleback. If it gets to that stage now, you can have the break. You can use the disruption to make sure that the Shallow Grave isn't quite as effective. Just lay down a few of those Shadow Poison stacks, and then they immediately die afterwards. The Demonic Cleanse is kind of okay with the Ag Shard against the Viper. Means you don't have to waste that Q.
It's very good. Very good.
Against Dazzle too, actually.
Against Dazzle too, I don't think you even get hexed, or it's going to be a 0.1 second hex.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the Dazzle Shard here.
Yep.
I think Bristle into Shadow Demon, a little bit scary, a little bit. Obviously the Shadow Demon Ags is a break, and it completely destroys Bristleback. You need to get to that point, but I'm assuming it's going to be Zayak Shadow Demon, and I'm sure he's gonna recognize that and try to maybe prioritize his own farm a little bit more.
Or at least stacking, which Shadow Demon fantastic at doing, right? So you're just going to be able to get a lot of that passive gold. Again, he's so comfortable playing along with Rezo, it means that they're going to have a good time in lane, most likely. Again, depends how the support is really going to position themselves, but yeah, if you can get a couple of free kills in lane, you're laughing.
Actually, one of the best duo to kind of maximize their early game impact, and I think they're really good at, you know, obviously they have a lot of synergy with each other, so they're really good at, hey, I'm gonna be focusing on stacking. All right, you know, let's push in the lane. Let's play the lane in a way where I give my Shadow Demon enough freedom to go back to stack every time. And they were one of the few players to make the Batrider off lane work that well. They were playing Earthspit Batrider, two really greedy laners, and they were getting away with it every game, thanks to the stacking. So I think if I had to pick one offlane duo that could really maximize the stacking potential of Shadow Demon, it would be Rezo and Zayak.
I'm curious though about the Bristleback pick. This is a much more common pick this tournament, but has it been addressed by Secret's draft, or do they need to pick a really good last pick?
I think if you just stomp the lane, it's kind of okay, right? Like you just need to get that level 6 up, reasonable timing on the Dazzle, then you're going to have the bad Juju for the minus armor, pair that together with the Quill Spray. It's a lot of physical damage, just gets amped up further and further. So I think they're going to need to focus a little bit on stacking too for Team Spirit, just to make sure that they're able to, again, continue to allow this Bristleback to snowball, take a lot of those ancient stacks, because if you look on Team Secret, we're mentioning that, of course, Zayat is going to be able to build up a lot of these stacks, but they've got two heroes that are pretty damn great at being able to take them in both the Juggernaut and the Dawnbreaker.
I feel like right now, the second phase of Team Spirit has not been addressed so well by Secret. I mean, it's kind of meant to be like that, right? Bristleback was the last pick of the second phase, but I think it's a very good Bristle game, really hard to kill him. They had the Shadow Demon Axe later down the road, which is going to be very efficient. But besides that, they don't have a way to lock him down, so he's always going to get his back turned. You know, Chen definitely does not deal with Bristle. Bristle is more of a Chen counter. Same for the Dawnbreaker. I think they kind of ignore each other. And the Juggernaut, sure, he has this one Omni Slash.
Oh, wow.
And it's the same for the Dazzle. I mean, now Dazzle got more addressed with the Storm pick. But, you know, Grave has a lot of value. They have only one way to get on top of the Dazzle. It is the Storm. Storm, a hero we do not see that often. It really, you know, got fall behind after the null changes.
Do you think they're just going to Kunkka again? Like, I feel like this is a game where Team Spirit just need to absolutely stomp them in the laning phase, right? You need to make sure that the Shadow Demon's not going to get to that point with the Aghanim Scepter, hell, even the Aghanim Shard, right? You mentioned before that the Viper Tiny is specifically there.
I think they need an instant stun, though. They need an instant stun. Okay, they go for the Pangolier.
Yeah. Somewhat there, if you get Blink Dagger on the Pango.
It's okay at being able to clear out a few of the Chen creeps as well, the big army. So it's an alright thing. I do feel a lot more confident in Team Secret's draft, though.
Yeah, I mean, this Pangolier, I've seen it go both ways. Obviously, if the Pango has a really good game and he gets an early diffu, it can be really annoying for Storm, even kind of kill your entire tempo. But I think Storm has a pretty good laning phase against Pangolier, so it's going to come down to the support rotations. And I think that once again, the Chen and the Shadow Demon may be more efficient, more effective, I mean, at rotating around. I'm not quite sure. I think it's really going to come down to this mid matchup also, you know, who gets the most out of his lane.
Some lucky power runes even could be the difference maker.
Definitely. Storm and Pango, both heroes that rely heavily on power runes and can make a lot of impact with them.
Yeah, love that point, because that was the two counters. Quap and Storm were the two counters to the Pango mid meta, where Call of Pango was the thing. And then, will it work again? We'll have to see here. How is your trust level in mid Pango in general right now, Dano? Do you think it's still strong?
I like it a lot. I think offlane Pango just doesn't really work, but mid Pango, you get a lot of those levels. You have that much lower cooldown. You're able to duck in and out of fights a lot more effectively. I think it can work.
Okay. Well, we're going to have to see as Game 2 is upon us. I think the Storm is in the shot right now. And with its electrifying jump, we're going to go to Game 2 between Team Secret and Team Spirit. Take it away, Gareth McCost.
Yeah, Game 2, here we are as Storm's hat flickering in front of his face as we get ourselves underway. Spirit changing the tempo right more in your face, run at you Dota. Secret going for a similar style to Game 1 though, Lacoste.
Yeah, Team Spirit going for this Bristleback plus Dazzle combination. We're gonna run at you. They're focusing heavily on the laning stage. We see Tiny and Viper combo. Every single time there is a Viper pick from the offlane, you need to have some kind of a lockdown so they can't get away. So usually paired up with like Tusk, Tiny, Dawnbreaker position 4. Mid lane, Pango against Storm Spirit can be sometimes difficult. Like I don't think you have a kill threat on a Storm there. You're playing like melee into Storm, so Storm should have definitely an edge in this matchup. But once you get to level 6, maybe like still looking in how that one's gonna go. Panel touched upon the Bristleback, the break mechanic with Shadow Demon Ags. It's a lot of farm. It's gonna take a lot of time for him to get there. And we're talking about breaking Viper as well, and yeah, getting into the game. We can hear the crowd as well.
Yeah, getting sucked into the Dota 2 universe. We're talking about Team Spirit being a very fast tempo draft, and Tsecret was so speedy, they'd already smoked and moved out of their fountain before I'd loaded into the game. They're so ready to get themselves across the river, get some early wards down. And Team Spirit doing a very similar job. Early ward in the Radiant Triangle.
This is something that LGD has done against OG, holding the high ground. It's being pinged out. Rezo, he knows something is up.
He's got a very good read on that. He was pinging right on top of them. And Team Tsecret is going to hold the low ground close to their tier 1 mid lane. Yeah, expecting that wraparound play, like you say, we saw from LGD coming behind that top rune as the Dire team and backstabbing the Radiant ones.
Blocking the small camp.
Something that you were looking for in the previous game. This time it does come to fruition. Rezo poke his head around the corner and say hello to Team Spirit as they move on forward. Quick disruption though. Not even time there for Mirror to level up. Avalanche, never mind, cast it. Still holding on to his point.
Shadow Demon. I just want to mention one thing. It's I think it's a good response to. You have another layer of save because you have a Dawnbreaker, you have Chen coming in with the heals, but also it's very good against grave targets. Someone gets graved, disruption, and then you focus him after. Team Tsecret a little bit limited on stuns and control. They have Electric Vortex and Dawnbreaker stuns, which is kind of meh. No real stuns. On the bottom lane, Juggernaut against Tiny and Viper, you have a built-in magic immunity. If you feel threatened about the poison attacks, you can try to spin it away. Poppy one more time on his chest. Starting with the same items, headrest. But this time around, instead of getting the aura, he is going for penitence.
Yeah, give the extra attack speed to the Jug if he's able to chase into people. Just peeking into that mid lane, Storm Spirit already heavily bullying Toronto Tokyo. Nisha 6-0, Pango trying to catch up. An additional 2 creeps arriving for the Storm though. As he should be able to hold this wave right in front of his tower. Allow the second wave to come up as well. That's really nasty for the Pango, who wants to get into the middle of the creep wave and then has to contend with the static remnants. And then up at top, Rezo there on the Dawnbreaker, of course. Zayat's the Shadow Demon. Yeah, back to him. You were looking for the OD for Tsecret at some point in that draft, right? Shadow Demon, a similar concept, being able to get a grave target, keep Bristleback away from charging.
Yeah, to have something better against the Bristleback, either that or I believe Void Spirit was also available, because there's not enough lockdown on side of Spirit. They have Pango roll and they have Tiny. That's about it.
Yeah. Everything else very focused on that lane and the early tempo and momentum they can try and build up around the Bristleback and his item timings. Of course, like Vanguard, Aghanim Scepter, and get Yatoro into a good place.
Nisha already picked up Water Rune in the bottle. Bangolier did the same thing. We can see Nisha 4 CS ahead of Pango and catches him mid-air. What? Nisha, he's been on point. Like all these small things, using Lightning Bolt to stop Phoenix from diving, as you said, zoomer reactions.
Yeah, that's a sick little move there. Any one of those moves that is able to displace or shift the Pango while he's mid-air and the shield crash stops his spell from being utilized properly. While Yatoro, he is graved up, but he's got poison stacks on him. Already spent his stick. So Rezo and Zayat finishing off the Bristleback.
Going in for the Grave, trying to buy some extra time. A little bit surprising. Like, yeah, Grave's a good ability, but I would maybe prefer if that's a Shadow Wave, just to be able to like get that sustain, deal some damage, because Dawnbreaker is in your face, and that's going to be the first blood. Zayat's getting it.
Yeah, felt like they needed it as well. You know, Storm Spirit in that mid lane for Tsecret doing exceptionally well on the CS board. You see the other two cores, Dawnbreaker was having a few problems, and of course Juggernaut in that bottom lane, like the panel was saying, he kind of has to 1v2 while Puppy, the greedy Chen, is going to be farming his mech.
I would love to see Zayat going for stack in the triangle and securing the top rune, because Pango goes in, he gets a disruption, and he's already doing really good on Nisha, and then Nisha can't be the one going for the bottom rune. And taking away something from Toronto Tokyo, we can see Toronto already struggling on the Pangolier.
Yeah.
Going for that 3-minute bounty rune.
Yeah, has to track back into his own jungle for it. That'd be a good move. Accelerate Nisha even further ahead.
Zayat's trying to stack up. Toronto Tokyo showing himself full HP. Gets the bottle. Gets the water rune inside of it. Mira does the same thing. The mirror movement that we talked about.
He can grave it. Oh, no, he can't grave himself. The centaur. Oh, cheeky little neutral creep comes in.
Tanks, I guess.
Helping out Team Tsecret, the 6th man. Resolution and Zayat starting to dominate this lane now. As we see a rotation coming into mid. Team Spirit want to make up for that in other areas of the map, but it's scouted out. Puppey has a Centaur Corsa scouting as Mira tried to make that move.
Nisha knows that the Mira is missing, and he also doesn't have a small camp to farm. He would definitely love to have that available. Zayat.
Zayat's on the way out.
Gonna replenish the poison touch.
Keeps it going. Well, just disrupt him, stack the camp again, and run himself back. These stacks, of course, are under dire vision, so Team Spirit know that they're being built up and could be contested by the bristle. Nisha has hit level 6 in the mid lane, though. Empty Bottle has stick, delivered tangos, an observer ward. So he'll be sticking around at mid lane for a while. And he's got a sentry to deward his small camp too, because he's missed out on 5 minutes of farming that.
Puppey bought a sentry for him, just so that he can farm the small camp. Sentry's gonna expire anyway. You're gonna get it on the 6 minutes.
Oh, the thing's going so well top and mid. Someone's got to suffer. Crystalis 14-4 with 20 denies on collapse, but they're going on top. Miposhka slammed into the ground by Rezo.
That's the only kill they can get on the top lane right now, because Yatoro does have a Vanguard, does have a stick level 5, so a bit difficult.
But 20 denies on Viper, of course. Collapse is having a cracking game, isn't he? Really
Talk
punching the
about
Jug.
his Viper. Jug, 15 CS only, like lane dominator. This is looking a bit rough. They will need to find a way how to make Crystalis what he was in the previous game. I'm talking about like Nisha making the rotations, giving him the last hits, and kind of sacrificing his own game so that Crystalis can shine one more time.
Yeah, or even think about in the next few minutes maybe shifting him up towards top, getting that top lane farm. As Resolution, once he hits level 6, we'll have the Solar Guardian to join fight.
Oh, the stacks are being pinged out. Toronto Tokyo, he wants to go in, potentially even bring Yatoro, because they caught a glimpse of it. That first ward that they placed down.
He can't do it alone. He needs some help from his friends. Zayat is here, sees the Pango, shows himself, Toronto Tokyo. A couple of stacks of poison, there's the third one. Zayat's able to keep tabs on him. And the Pango is going to be forced to roll here. Won't be able to connect it onto anyone. It's a fully defensive Rolling Thunder to get away.
They see me rolling, they don't care. And this stacks now belongs to Storm Spirit most likely, unless Yatoro decides to make a move. And here he comes.
Yeah, he's coming alone. He does have a couple of heroes backing him up, slowly moving up to this triangle. Miposhka and Mira trying to make their way across there. But now you see Nisha, Rezo joining the fray, and we're going to have a big old scrap in the Radiant Triangle. Yatoro spamming out quills, but Storm is in. Nisha dragging Mira back. Toronto Tokyo trying to deal with a creep wave in the middle of the river as the stack does get cleared out. A bit going to Spirit, a bit going to Tsecret. Not sure who got the most out of it.
The biggest winner of this is Collapse. Left alone on top of net worth, has power treads finished, and he has a Void Stone as his first item, just to have a little bit more mana sustain.
Curious.
Yeah, very curious. It seems like it's going to be Orchid. He wants to be able to scale. So against Storm Spirit, pretty good item. Yeah, because they are limited in terms of lockdown.
Makes a lot of sense for them. Nisha, Zayat, They are eyeing up Collapse and a ball straight on him. Solar Guardian there as well. And the big target brought to his knees. The highest net worth hero for Team Spirit destroyed. Another crisp, clean execution from Team Tsecret. Toronto, Tokyo wants to make a meal out of this. Tsecret have the first course, maybe now the main course for Spirit, but he's stuck between two pillars and he gets bounced around the crystals. Not being a great one for the
You
Pango.
know who placed those crystals? It was Crystallis. He's the one who placed them to protect Resolution.
That's why they brought him in, yeah. He controls the terrain of the map. Spirit now with a couple of heroes down bottom. Toronto, Tokyo. He doesn't know where he wants to be. Bit of a headless chicken moment. Do I want to go back to mid? I'm kind of stuck in the river. Now we've got Dazzle, Miposhka taking experience there, while the Pango with no ulti. Still down south. And Tsecret bringing numbers. Another ball in. Good avalanche. Mira trying to swing it back onto Nisha, but they've got the Vortex on the Tiny. And Spirit lose yet another small engagement. 5-0 start for Team Tsecret. And they have swapped Crystallis up to top now, so he's going to get that safer farm, the ability to fall back into triangle and be protected by the rest of his squad. While Puppey is closing in on that mech very quickly. 400 gold away.
That's a big timing. A lot of sustain going to come out from that Chen. We're talking about the healing ward as well. Dawnbreaker ulti. Team Spirit, they will need to bring numbers. I'm not talking about like one extra hero. Potentially they need to bring like the second hero if they want to grab a kill. We already said they're very limited how they can control the Storm Spirit. One of the reasons why Collapse is trying to farm up Orchid. Also in terms of tower damage, they don't have much.
Yeah, very reliant on Bristleback having a good start and basically just charging in towards objectives. I mean, nobody has done any building damage, in fact. Zeros across the board. So both teams doing a nice job protecting their tier 1s. As we see there, Nisha building into the Witchblade. Looking for that more right-click focused scaling build on the Storm Spirit. Refills himself and TP's out. He'll take the mid lane farm. And Zayat is in just behind him. Could get ready to make a move on to Toronto, Tokyo. He'll spend a couple of spells to clear the wave. And Catapult should die.
They don't have much to control Pangolier during the Rolling Thunder. By much, I mean literally nothing. So that's going to be a good thing. The only one that can try to kill him is Juggernaut during the Omni Slash. And now the Mirror Movement. Team Tsecret making a rotation. Gonna go for that tier 1 tower. Puppey, level 6.5, about to be level 7. Finds Trust Shovel one more time.
I'll see how many salves he can amass. He had like 6 or 7 or something in the previous game. Mira coming into mid.
Instant Devor from Zayat.
He knows exactly what Mira's up to. When he's just holding out on that mid lane, spamming poison. I do still have that high ground observer watching into the triangle though. So if they do build up stacks for Team Tsecret, Spirit could be quickly up in their face. And Yatoro already making that move. Broken by one of the neutral creeps. That's not ideal, but Team Tsecret not taking that opportunity to jump in towards him, and they will. Avalanche toss, roll in towards Nisha, but he's vortexed up Mira, and Storm Spirit zaps away from danger. Still has a bit of mana pool, and it so cleanly gets away from the initiation of Team Spirit.
And nothing has been done with these 2 Rolling Thunders. This was supposed to be their big team fight ulti, their control in the team fights. Yatoro, good plus Vanguard this time around, having a bit even more sustain, a bit more damage block overall. That means that Aghanim Scepter is going to be delayed, but this is a big kill. They want to delay as much as they can. Oh, not in range to use the Shallow Grave.
Yeah, the Wild Wing pushes him out of place. Disruption won't save the day for the Shadow Demons, so Spirit gets something. First kill up on the board for them. Toronto, Tokyo, and Miposhka slaying the Zayat Shadow Demon. But collapsed down for quite some time, delaying that Orchid, like you say, gives Nisha so much confidence to continue playing aggressively as he has been doing.
And he sees what Viper is going for, so immediately queues up the BKB on a Storm Spirit. So that's going to be his next item after finishing off the Witchblade. Witchblade gives them solo pickoff potential. Like, even if they feel like they don't have enough, having Storm Spirit zip in onto the target allows just enough time for Dawnbreaker to use the Solar Guardian and connect onto the target. And Rezo, he's going for the scaling build.
Oh yeah, Echo Saber phase boots, but you see that Nisha.
Nisha all over the place.
I like the line from the fountain to the mid lane. Traversing out across the map, refilling his bottle a few times. Beautiful graphics coming in. And a lot of room for Crystallis, right? All of this noise being made around the Ancients, mid lane, bot lane, has allowed the Juggernaut to at least stabilize and pick up some net worth after his torrid laning stage against the Viper.
They're making him stacks. They want him to have a good time. Drops the healing ward, will farm the Ancient stack. Toronto Tokyo getting very close to his Diffusal Blade. That's going to be a big item, so you can like burn Dawnbreaker's mana, burn Storm Spirit's mana, so they can't get out. Like even Juggernaut has very limited mana pool, so that means that maybe he's not going to be able to get the Omni Slash in a fight.
And these kind of slow and steady games, what I see Team Spirit smoking now. Is this the right kind of move?
It is. They want Storm Spirit with this Orchid. Like even Juggernaut, if they can catch it. Puppey is ready with Mech and Hand of God.
Roll. Silence. There on the Jug. I should be able to kill him off. Oh, maybe not. He's pushed onto high ground, gets the spin out, but he's killed off. Spirit.
I think they could have saved him with the Hand of God there. Initial heal 200. Maybe would have been enough for him to TP out.
And there was the potential. And off the back of that kill, Spirit straight into action on the tier 1. Team Tsecret not in any position here to really contest it, just allowing the tower to fall. They will glyph because that's a freebie glyph. But a couple more hits here. One, in fact, from Collapse's Viper. And this ward coverage from Spirit, you know, that one in the triangle, of course, found the Jug kill. But also the one down in bottom jungle. They saw the rest of Tsecret and where they were located, which allowed that smoke gang to connect so perfectly. I see Yatoro down at bottom now, Team Tsecret. He's about halfway towards his Aghanim Scepter. Not a hero they can particularly just go run out and kill straight off the bat.
They've been just farming up. They want this big timing on a Bristleback. Get the Aghanim Scepter, which is going to be done in 1500 gold, and then go for a smoke, get a pick off, transition then into Roche.
Stacking Ancients for himself. Get that timing a little bit faster. As Rezo holds out on the top lane. Zayat just in behind him in case danger comes, but again, Observer Ward sees everything. Team Spirit much more on the money with their vision.
Yeah,
but then
Observers have been on point.
Zayat's also on point with his dewarding, right? A couple of instant sentries have come out knowing that that's the place where if there were to be an Observer Ward would undo the moves they're making.
Having a pretty good read on where and how Team Spirit is going to make a move. Gotta give credit to Zayat for that.
That's been perfection. Puppey continues jungling. What's after his mech then? Go for the locket again? Is there something else he needs?
It is locket. Look at his little army. The troll priest with 15% heal amplification aura, a bit more speed coming out from the Kobold Foreman. And again, the Hurricane. A lot of value from that one.
So that heat map, you want to focus on the sort of paler, the whiter spots on it, because those are all the neutral camps where Puppey has been standing in. And you walk in between camp and camp. Decent timing on the blink there for Mira's Tiny, 17 minutes in.
Considering that he's 0, 1, and 0 means like no gold coming into his pockets from any rotations, but they did kill 2 towers, so at least something. They found the big boy Philly. Tiny will definitely hold that one. Oh no, never mind. I remember watching Toronto Tokyo stream because you one-shot the waves with Swashbuckle and Shield Crash, and he was holding the Philosopher's Stone on Pango just to get like more gold from it.
Yeah.
Because you don't farm with the right clicks. You only need mana.
Keep on scaling. Well, we saw that Juggernaut has only done, what is it, 266 damage to heroes this game. Needs to start picking things up, Crystallis. He'll get there eventually. No, he's now overtaken the Pango in net worth, slowly edging his way up. And this Viper, yeah, the Orchid has got them 1 kill, but in a slow game, they've invested into aggression and they need to see some kind of return on investment. Getting some more deep wards, hunting for Tsecret. But it really is just this